My fellow Sierra Leoneans, today I want to do an assessment of we Mayor Yvonne Sawyer's in first 100 days in office, almost 100 days. Somebody will ask why Yvonne Sawyer not the president, not just a mayor. Why we do an analysis of him? And I will tell you the reason why. The reason why we do an analysis of Yvonne Sawyer now simply because Yvonne Sawyer na the mayor of a capital city, the central business district. That the mayor of the administrative center of we country. Now the mayor of the city of Freetown. Freetown now the face of Sierra Leone. Freetown and the showcase with level of development, with level of progression, then they showcase with culture, with value, then they showcase with worth to other people when they can visit. Now the face of the country. So it's very important that we get somebody we that competent somebody we will do the job we then vote them in for. So even Sawyer make I analyze them from the beginning we start to now. So even Sawyer we win, we all glad for him. Everybody in a salon glad for him. And one of the reasons we all glad for we first female mayor of Freetown City, a broad. But one of the big reasons that because it represents woman them. As a woman, Sierra Leone woman they don't suffer too much. During the war, the one where they suffer the most are women they raped, abused, the kids killed in front of them and so on and so forth. The atrocities they're nameless, endless. And if you look at the constitution of we governance, the history of Sierra Leone, women don't always occupy less than 20%. Even within the current BO government and the previous Ernest Barry Koroma government, women then constitute less than 20% na parliament. But women then they well over 50-60% of the population. More women in Sierra Leone than men. But they are represented less than 20% in all governance structures. We come on unemployment, women are the most unemployed compared to men. So forget women they represent becoming a mayor for the first time. It brings so much pride and joy. But they also restore confidence and it bring hope to the young people the way they go to school. They think say, this is a male dominated country. I have no future here. Then picking and they will look at somebody like Yvonne Sawyer and say, yes. Now they will aspire for not only become a mayor, but for become a president and even more, even better than that. Because we get women that will not come up. There's a lot of strong women we have in our country, but we also get women that will they don't rise up only for make them deceive and breed hopelessness within the young as well. Women like the Iron Lady, what they call Diana Konomani, she excelled. We all support her. We all happy for her. Only for make it take hatred against the former vice president. We bring down the former vice president and bring the incest in the Diana down. We get women like Sylvia Blythe, the biggest mouth woman, very empty-headed woman. We rise through the ranks because they talk boku. It become SES, special executive assistants to the president, the first position, the first role ever created, which happened, it failed miserably. It go na Ministry of Social Welfare, it failed miserably. Mami cause na end up there. So people like that don't inspire hopelessness in the community. So we get somebody like Yvonne Sawyer, we don't rise up. It's really important. Make we want to analyze them. What he don't do. In the first 100 days in office. So make I get to them. The first thing we do, the time we don't assume we don't win victory, we're always celebrating victory. Whether you're a PCS, it doesn't matter. So many of us celebrated it. Whether they win, President Bio reinstate the last Saturday of the month cleaning. When President Bio reinstate that last Saturday of the month cleaning, which we expect, we newly elected mayor, the vibrant, the people's choice, the representative, the person who represent Freetown, for they are the forefront of the cleaning. But what he say, receive official letter of invitation to the cleaning, so must they. That was the beginning of the disappointment of that mayor. The beginning of irresponsibility of this mayor, Yvonne Sawyer. Must they. Sierra Leoneans then come out in numbers, clean everywhere, make sure Freetown City tidy. The city where that woman did represent, must that first time. But what happened? The subsequent one they participate, but show leadership in the first one. Another area is that we see a worker in Abacha Street. They say they clean up Abacha, so they clear the road. So people they remove all lane thing they will they sell out of the road. The newspaper they speak volumes about how great it was, this. But what they not tell you, me fumble them, is that where it come na the road, they open them up. From clear off, make it worker. I they go na so then they close them back. I be there exactly, then close them back. So it made no difference. Within minutes, the road be on clogged back exactly the same way be there 20 years ago. I say 20 years ago because President Ahmed Tijan Kabame is so rest in perfect peace. Now, one of the first presidents we tried for clear Abacha Street, it failed miserably. You get His Excellency, former President Anis Baikoroma, he tried for clear Abacha Street, it failed miserably. 20 years, we get two presidents, then failed miserably for clear Abacha Street. What did they do? They try for clear in the same way Yvonne Sawyer don't do. So we get somewhere like Yvonne Sawyer who the fishing could bring new direction, new ideas, new energy, but they still do the same old thing them. It's very disappointing. Make an offer Yvonne Sawyer if you watch this. It's not a personal attack on you, now a genuine assessment of your performance over the past 100 days. If you watch this, make her propose something to you. For K, you can't work out for Clear Abacha Street. That is a band-aid fix. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable at all. My proposition is this. I want to make you know, say there's a reserve land na Jue Army Barracks, old Army Barracks na Jue. Then at the end of the road, that land they na place where the government may not use in 1990, 2000 and 2001 up to 2002 for rehabilitate refugees they with them in the camp from Guinea, Liberia and other countries them they returnees them. Now that place them they use. You have dilapidated building, a very massive place. If you use a place like that, you lobby the private sector, the government. You work collaboratively and progressively with them. You'd be able to turn that place to a business center. People will rent place, shops them from you. The council, keep and clean, decent. That will ease the congestion at Abacha Street. But until something tangible, an alternative business center is available to the people, they're not getting nowhere else for doing trading. Now Abacha Street they never go. And Abacha Street will always be clogged. Me, I don't drive through Abacha Street in the middle of the night. It's a very big street, open, wide. In fact, it's Mabna Clock Tower, you see PZ on the other side. You know? Like you drive around there, then 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's beautiful. But make you crazy drive in Freetown between 6 in the morning to 11 o'clock in the night. You can't see anywhere. The city just so many people, you can't drive. So this is my proposal to you. The third thing I want to mention to you is that I want to talk to you about recently you announced you don't increase the fine for littering. We put it to Tina Street and Freetown. You don't increase the fine from 5,000 to 500,000. Really, I don't understand whether you whose village you come out. I don't understand which in the inside that you eat there. With all due respect, now the most preposterous, the most ridiculous, the most ludicrous decision I don't ever hear any mayor in the whole world don't do. You don't increase fine from 5,000 to 500,000 in newspaper in a saloon, then they battle you in the prison you don't do it, you're not a tough lady. I feel say you're a very ignorant woman. Why say you ignorant? Make I give you the reasons why. You want find people them, you know get no alternatives so people they put dirty. But you want find them for where they throw dirty. We all want left Freetown clean, yes. But at least offer dustbin them around the city. Now so they in any civilized world, even in African countries, offer dustbin them so people go throw dirty. Me, I don't do in Freetown. Every time I visit Freetown, I carry me dirty with me. From the moment I pick them to the moment I get inside my motor car inside of my hand, because there's no place to dispose of it. You don't provide any services, but you want, punish people for when they dispose of that rubbish. If you need for raise funds for do that, maybe increase the rate so that you will use that increment, the funds generated from that increment for cover the cost of the services for keep the city clean, provide dustbin. But until you provide dustbin, you don't get right for charge people in 500,000. And make I tell you, Pademba Road Prison, you're already overcrowded. If you charge people in 500,000, Pademba Road Prison, it go pack pass Sardine safe. It will pack space, no, the plane will begin to die there. And you will be held responsible. Make I tell you why. The average income for Sierra Leoneans, the one doing the work per month, the average salary now 150,000. Where I say average, the definition of average no means say all man now minimum 150. It means say people in the within the less when they earn less than 150,000 per month. If you say you find them 500,000, which is more than 3 times within the average, then that means they're not going to afford to pay the fine and won't accord and send in a jail. And the jail will be overcrowded. Use your common sense, Mama. I beg you, Yvonne Sawyer. Use your common sense and make decisions, not a populist decision. Make decisions that really connect with Freetonians. You are, at the moment, you're not connected with Freetonians. The other thing I want to mention to you is that, you don't increase all these fines. So what next? What next? You haven't done anything. You predecessor now exactly when you find people and punish people, but you don't provide any services. Cleaning, they don't provide services. This waste disposal, they don't provide services. Marketing center, they don't provide alternative services. They deal with the old system. We expect much more from you. All the young people look up to you. We want you succeed. But the way you don't start, it don't look promising. The way you don't start, you don't signal more hopelessness past the deluded and crazy silver blinding and co. You don't go down below the level by my standard, by my measurement. You need for wake up. You still to celebrate your success at the election. You need for move away from that election victory to actually doing things that you're elected into office for. I hope say you watch this and I hope say you do something about it. Once again, I am Thomas. Thank you.